So if we don't get Tattooed Wolfman, I don't want it. 800, oh my God, that hurts to say out loud. 854 page book. Dusty, I kept just picturing Casey from Yellowstone. We got gypped of that experience of being able to fall in love with her boyfriend, with her. We are going to be reading the scariest / most intimidating books on my TBR to start the month of June. I feel like I need to do this because otherwise I'm gonna say that we will work up to them, and then it's gonna be the end of the month and I'm gonna have like 3 700-page books to read. And then I'm gonna panic. I'm kind of panicking right now. Let's talk about the strategy. Let's talk about what we're reading this week. It's gonna be amazing. Okay, so by scariest, I really just mean the most intimidating books on my TBR because they're scary to me. They're scary in my brain. I feel fear when I look at these books. So the first one is what I'm already in the middle of. I feel like it'll be good to just finish this off, have a clean start to the month. Now you would think that The Inadequate Heir by Danielle L. Jensen doesn't seem like it's a scary book. When I looked at this book, I thought that's like 450 pages. And it's a fantasy romance. The writing style is incredible. And then I actually looked in the book. This book is 673 pages. That was news to me. I did not know that, but you know what? As scary as she is, she's really very beautiful. I love the new covers that they did for this series. And it's like the most perfect floppy paperback I've ever picked up in my whole life. So she has a lot going for her. I am about halfway, actually a little bit more than halfway through this book. I have the audio. For a lot of these books, I have the audio, which makes me feel a little bit better. So we are going to be kicking off this vlog with The Inadequate Heir. We're going to be finishing Assassin's Quest. I need to plot out how many pages of this I need to listen to or like read per day. This is the scariest one for me, to be honest. I enjoy Robin Hobb's writing. I've enjoyed the first 2 books in the series, but I'm nervous for this one because I've heard it's people's like least favorite. And I've learned from Robin Hobb's writing, I love her characters. I really, really love her characters. The pacing of the series is what I haven't enjoyed. I need to just admit that to myself. Her writing is incredible, but I don't like the pacing of these books. The fact that the entire plot of this 800, oh my God, that hurts to say out loud, 854 page book, I know that the entire plot is going to happen in the last 100 pages, maybe 150. It's such a slow build up and every book has been that way, but I really want to finish this trilogy because I want to continue with her series. Then my strategy, not so much with The Inadequate Heir, I've really been enjoying this book, like listening to it's really fun, but with Assassin's Quest, or Ass Quest if you will, if I do get to that point where I'm like, I'm really bored and I just need something fun to like balance this out, that's where Cowboy Romance comes in, baby. I still haven't read Wild and Wrangled by Lila Sage. I love the Rebel Blue Ranch series with my entire heart and soul. It's actually what first got me into Cowboy Romance. It wasn't Elsie Silver like it was for a lot of people. For me, it was Lila. She has a special place in my heart, and her books just read, I mean, so stinking fast. I'm so excited for this couple as well, Camille and Dusty. It's like a second chance romance. Oh boy, I'm excited. So I think that these will be a good balance. And then I also have, this one is so long, I don't know what I'm thinking with this. So Let Me Live in My Delulu, thank you very much. This one's almost 600 pages. The other book that I have for this week is Direbound. This one is also like another fun book to switch to. It's like a little reward. Like when I finish my pages for the day of the chunky books that I'm reading, I can switch to just something fast, fun, silly, goofy, hee ha-has with a friend, hee ha-has and yee-haws in Cowboy. So these are the books for the week. My arm is hurting just holding these up. Everything is gonna be fine. we have news. We have finished The Inadequate Heir. Oh my god, this is so shiny. Sorry for blinding you. I liked the beginning of it. I think that the middle dragged quite a bit, and then as it got towards the end is what I really remember most vividly about Bridge Kingdom and Traitor Queen. I just feel like the pacing of this book was so off, and when I started to think about my experience as someone who like loved the Bridge Kingdom and Traitor Queen, when I think about my experience reading those books, they were so high stakes and very, very fast paced because they were so much shorter. With this book taking place concurrently with those books' timeline, there was so much explanation for things that we like already knew. I don't know how I feel about this. I think I understand what Danielle was going for. We are on a first name basis. What Danielle Jensen was going for, but I didn't enjoy it, especially towards the end. Like, I listened to every minute of that audiobook, even though I like wasn't invested, and I kept being like, should I DNF, should I DNF? And then I was like, no, let me just like finish this. I feel like I need to finish a book, because maybe it was just this one, and then when I get to The Endless War, which is the next book in the series, because that will be a timeline like with plot events that we have never been introduced to before, maybe that will go better for me. I did like Zara and Karis. I definitely did not like them as much as I liked Lara and Aaron. Lara and Aaron spent way more time together, especially in the first book of theirs. They were together like the whole time. There was training scenes together, there was betrayals, whereas this one, like, they spend so much time apart. When they are together, I did really like it. I did like getting the details of the politics, but I just got really, really tired of the politics after a certain point. And honestly, I think I'm getting that fatigue because none of this plot was new. And so there was never the mystery of like, well, what's gonna happen? Because I knew how things were going to end. But now I'm really questioning if I continue with the series or not. This was like a 3-star at best. It was like probably a 2.5 because I really wanted to DNF but forced myself to get through, and if I didn't have the audiobook, there was no way I was finishing this. So because of that, I'm now especially nervous to go into Assassin's Quest because I already know, I'm mentally prepared that this is going to be really, really slow. So I think what we're actually gonna do is read a little bit of Wild and Wrangled, start this one next, and then when my brain is feeling decent, like hopefully tomorrow at some point, then I will get into Assassin's Quest and like actually start this audiobook. My brain is having a hard time reading right now, but I think that this will be really fun. So Wild and Wrangled by Lila Sage. This one we're following Cam Ashwood. She's marrying not really for love. She's marrying because of a lifestyle to a man. Basically, she's trying to get her overbearing parents off her back, and she's trying to start building her own life in a small town, but she's really trying to secure a good lifestyle and life for her daughter. But then her groom leaves her at the altar. Like, she finds out that a house that she's loved since high school in this town is for rent, but the problem is that her neighbor this is like a second chance romance. So they like know each other. We have Dusty Tucker. He has been like yearning after her, like not yearning. He has been pining after her, like Gatsby pining. Ever since he returned home last year, the girl who was his first, well, everything, has become a woman seemingly determined to keep him at arm's length. And he was okay with that, at least that's what he kept telling himself. She was getting married after all, but now she's single and she's living next door. This sounds like exactly what I need. I'm very excited. Betsy, she was a reader yesterday, so we have some reading updates on these two. I'm actually proud to say we made a lot more progress in Assassin's Quest than what I was anticipating. Actually, let me grab my phone because I've been listening to this on audio like a little bit last night and then all this morning, so I need to see where we stopped. So we are on page 76. The prologue in the first chapter of this really grabbed me, which was incredible because Robin Hobb's writing is quite meandering. It's never straightforward. We do a lot to get where we need to go, but the prologue just really like gripped me right away. Also, we need to talk about what I did this morning because I feel like a brand new person. I don't know who this girl is. I have been in the throes of insomnia lately. Like the past 2 nights, I maybe got cumulative 4 hours of sleep. My body is so tired, but like last night I finally got a good night's sleep, and so I think it's a good sign. I think that's the universe saying you need to listen to this before you go to bed, like 30 minutes before you go to bed. And that's gonna be my bedtime routine going forward so that I can hopefully get out of this insomnia spell that I'm having. But anyways, this morning we woke up at 7:15, went to an 8 a.m. bar class, came home, stress cleaned the entire apartment. I would have done like a clean with me montage. I love watching people's vlogs who do those, except the people that can do those aesthetically pleasingly, I don't understand. I was a feral gremlin cleaning the apartment today, but we did like everything. Dishes, cleaned the countertops, scrubbed the shower, vacuumed everywhere, washed the bedding. I'm about to mop as well to like really make the house just like smell super clean and our floors get disgusting. So I'm gonna do that as well. And all this morning we were listening to Assassin's Quest. I feel rejuvenated. I also feel like I'm gonna crash out at like 3 or 3:30 in the afternoon. It's currently 12:48, so we still have some time before that crash. But this was so much fun to listen to. Fitz, no spoilers because this is the 3rd book in a series and a finale book, but Fitz is really a different person in this book from when we first met him. And so like what he's going through is insane. Also very grateful that the first like 3 chapters have been a bit of a recap of really the entire series so far, like where he started and like what he is going through with Burrick in this. Their conversation, their fight basically at the beginning of this book, I was like, oh my god, oh my god. It's going through like all of the people that he's like had in his life and that we've experienced with him. Robin Hobb, like when I'm in it, when I'm reading her books, the first one I really loved. The second one, very so-so for me. I feel like when I'm in it, I don't like love that I'm reading it. It's not the most enjoyable reading experience, but then when I look back at the story that was told, it's like incredible. We're all caught up on Assassin's Quest. Let's talk about the first 70 pages of Wild and Wrangled by Lila Sage. I don't think I could put into words how much I'm loving this book right now. It's so good. I love these characters. I think that this is one of my, this is so hard because I'm pretty sure I've given all of these books 5 stars. Actually, I think the first 2, Done and Dusted, Swift and Saddled, I think I gave 5 stars. I'm looking at them because they're right here. I think Lost and Lassoed was a 4. But anyways, all these books are so highly rated. I love this series so much. I think that this is my favorite setup. When she first moves to Meadowlark, he like befriends her right away at school, and then it's so obvious that he has like a massive crush on her, and he is just such a social person, so it helps her like transition to a new school. And the way that it flashes back to their high school moments together is so freaking cute. The beginning of this book, when Cam gets left at the altar, what an introduction to a book. I feel like I was watching a reality TV show because it was so dramatic. Like she gets left at the altar, her family has to disband the wedding and like everyone that showed up, and she runs to a bar in her wedding dress, veil in hand, dragging on the floor. She goes to a bar, the Devil's Boot obviously, and just sits at the bar and starts pounding vodka, and Dusty is there like watching her and is like, she hasn't seen me, like what's going on? Like, is this where they're coming after the wedding? Why would she be drinking by herself? Like, wait, did the wedding not happen? And then he finds out like what happened, and he's so angry. Oh my god, it was such an incredible beginning to the story. All of that is on the back cover, by the way. I'm having a wonderful time. I cannot wait to continue reading this. It reads so fast. I miss Lila's writing so much. I'm so excited that she's coming out with a new series later this year. Oh my gosh. I was just filming yesterday my most anticipated releases for summer, for like June, July, August. And I remembered that she has her new book coming out, I think in the fall. Oh my gosh. And the cover for that one is so beautiful. I love her covers. Also, I feel very blessed because I'm reading 2 of like the most floppy paperbacks ever, and it's incredible. So I think that this is going to be a focus for the rest of the day because I've listened to so much of Assassin's Quest, and then we'll just listen to another 30 minutes of this before bedtime. Coming to you from chapter 26 of this book, and still just absolutely loving it. We're almost at page 200. We're at 192, so we are more than halfway through. I actually thought this book was longer. I thought that this book was closer to 400 pages. It's not. It's 326. It's just like the perfect length. Like, they're short books, but I never am left feeling like there was more of the story to be told. I also really like the pacing of all of these books. The only thing I'm getting frustrated with is Cam. I'm like, we are more than halfway through this book and they're still not doing anything. Like, they're just treating each other like friends, and even that was a struggle for Cam. We haven't learned like what happened with them in the past in high school. It feels like we're not even close to getting that yet. So hopefully with my next update I'll be able to be like, oh my god, things have happened, whatever. But I am really loving this. I was a little apprehensive at first about Dusty because he's described as blonde, chin length hair. I mean, you can see it here. He has tattoos like all down his arms and hands, and then I guess he has one on his neck that we still don't know what it is. He has steel blue eyes, so like more gray than blue, and he has a nose piercing. Like, so many of those things I was like, oh my god, yes. But then when it said the blonde hair, like dirty blonde / light brown, I was like, I don't love that. But he is such a good MMC. I definitely think I like Gus and Teddy the most, but I do really like them. And Dusty is he's just like your classic like good guy. All of them are in this series, like, who am I kidding? But he is such a golden retriever. I don't know if I would describe Cam as a black cat per se, but Dusty definitely gives golden retriever energy, and I love it. I know that he's gonna break down her walls. I'm just like ready for that to happen at this point. So we've been reading for a little while. I'm gonna take a little Animal Crossing break because I just started a new Animal Crossing challenge. It's like a rags to riches challenge, and it's really reignited my ambition, like motivation for the game. And Animal Crossing is one of my favorite games of all time. I just like lose steam with it because after a certain point it's completely up to you to be like, okay, well, what do I do today? And then you do the same things every day, and I'm like, okay, this kind of gets old after a little while. But I feel like having a rags to riches challenge, it makes it fun because there's certain things that you like absolutely have to do every single day, and you're working towards like specific goals. So anyways, you didn't ask about that. I'm just excited to take a little reading break, play that, and then I'm trying to figure out what I want to have for Din Din tonight. I might order Din Din. Even though I ordered lunch, I might order Din Din. We have been very busy readers. I have a bunch of updates. So we finished Wild and Wrangled. I think I just missed Lila Sage's couples and like writing, because this was 4 stars. I did like it. I felt like at the end they have a 3rd act breakup, but it didn't carry like any weight at all. Like, I didn't understand why she was upset, and then they make up like 2 seconds later. So that was the one thing I was kind of like, okay, bestie, like, I see what you were trying to do, but I don't think it like worked the best. I love Dusty. I kept just picturing Casey from Yellowstone because him and Dusty are so similar. And for not being a super big fan of blonde love interests, Casey from Yellowstone, I'm like, it fits and it works and I get it. I get it now. I'm so sad that the series is over. I'm so excited for her new one to come out. As for Assassin's Quest, we're like in the middle of chapter 7, so like 150, maybe like 160-ish. This is officially my Animal Crossing book. It has been working for me in Animal Crossing. There's some tasks that I just get like bored doing, but when I'm listening to this, I'm like, I have all the time in the world. I want to listen to like at least an hour or 2 of this book. So I'm just gonna go and do all the little like tedious tasks, like pick up weeds and do all that stuff in Animal Crossing. And it's working so well. And I feel like it helps my brain lock in that much more to like what's happening in the story instead of kind of like glazing over the details in my head. So that's been working really well for me. I don't have a lot of like updates on this one. I don't know how many like thoughts I'm really gonna share because it's the 3rd book in a series. I would just say I think I'm enjoying this more than book 2. I'm much more interested in what's going on now because we have a very clear and defined goal that Fitz is going after. Goal is an interesting word, but like quest that he is going on for Assassin's Quest. Whereas in other books, it was much more like you're a fly on the wall during his life and you meet him when he's so young and then he grows up in the castle and he gets trained as an assassin and he's doing all these things, and it's much more like book 1 is like a training sequence almost and like a couple of his first experiences as an assassin. Book 2 is a lot of like travel and politics. And then this one, our characters have just been through so much that this feels like the final hurrah. But I'm hoping to listen to a little bit more of this tonight. Yesterday I didn't listen to any of this because I started reading Direbound. I read like 50 pages last night, and then today I went to the pool earlier and I got up to chapter 11. I am reading this one on my Kindle because it's been a while since I've read on my Kindle and I'm really enjoying it. So we are 100 pages in. This reads so fast. It's one of those fantasy romance books that, in my opinion, it didn't have a lot of world building at the beginning. It was very easy to just fall into. In the first chapter of this book, so much happens. We're at Fight Club, we're getting introduced to our main character. She starts making out with her boyfriend, and then we find out that like children are being kidnapped. They throw everything at you in this first chapter to really try to like grip you and pull you in. I don't know if I'm like fully in love with this writing style per se, but I do think that where the plot is going, I'm very interested in what's coming up next. The part as well that I was a little bit not so crazy about is that she has a like long-term boyfriend. We meet him from chapter 1 and we've already had some like spicy scenes. I just skimmed past them. I was not interested. I barely know you. Like, I don't know what's going on. It's too much too soon. One thing that I've learned, never trust a page 1 boyfriend. Also, we got introduced in like chapter 2 to this psychopathic murderer man that has kill tattoos all tattooed on him, on his hands and on his neck and all of that. And he rides on a massive dire wolf and he's gorgeous. And that's all we know about him. So if we don't get tattooed wolf man, I don't want it. I feel like it does get into the action pretty quickly. So the summary for this one, Marin Cooper is our main character. Her little sister gets kidnapped. There are these like kidnappers that are well known in her neighborhood. Her sister gets kidnapped by them. She decides to enlist in the army to be able to get her sister back, but she doesn't realize that there are bonding trials this year, meaning all soldiers are forced to risk their lives to connect with a direwolf, and Marin is thrown into that deadly competition. So she, for the next 4 months, has to train at the castle to even be able to go to the front lines to try to get her sister back, but she has bonded to a direwolf who doesn't like to communicate really. That's where we're at. My goal, I hope to try to finish this, if not get really close I don't think we're going to finish this. I'm just casually like reading this as we play Animal Crossing, as we vibe. I might include like maybe like the back half of this book in another vlog as I get closer to finishing it, but this is not the pressure that I need to race through a really slow paced book. I would much rather focus on this one. Besties, please do not make fun of my eyeliner today. I'm trying to reteach myself how to do eyeliner, which I haven't done in like literally so long. If you have any tips or tricks on how to do eyeliner on hooded eyes, I would really appreciate it. But anyways, we need to do an update on Direbound because I am screaming, crying, throwing up about this book. I am so obsessed. My hope of the plot being very juicy has come to fruition. It is gripping me. I cannot stop reading this book. Every time I sit down to read this book, I, number one, feel like I've read for 2 seconds, and number two, have read way more than I thought I was going to in that one like little reading session. This book is like a movie playing in my head. I love Stark. I really like the side characters, although I feel like we haven't spent a lot of time with any of the side characters. We've mostly been with Marin, which at first I was a little nervous about because she's definitely not my favorite main character, but she gets better. The beginning of this book, like the first 50 to 70 pages, I did not think I was going to be liking this as much as I am right now at the like 42% mark. Marin is one of those main characters where she's very cocky, which usually doesn't bother me, but as we get into the trials, as we get into this like boot camp training school that she's in, she gets so humbled, and I really enjoy what it's doing to her character. Also, so many things happen with like that relationship that she's in. I'm still holding out hope that there is another potential love interest in this because Stark is everything. He is Tattooed Wolf Boy. I'm obsessed with him. They also, in this book, get tattoos. They get like kill tattoos for any kills that they do of their like peers while they're in training school. They get tattoos on their neck, and then when they kill siphons, which are like vampires, when they're actually at war, they get tattoos on their arms. Let's just say there's a tattoo scene and they lick the tattoo after they do it for like the healing process. I loved it so much. I loved it so much. I'm also very curious to learn much more about this world because 42% of the way in, we know like the basics, but we don't know a lot. We're learning more and more about the wolf bonds, and that's because Marin is one of those main characters who was not previously overly exposed to this world, and so her peers that were from like bonded families, like wealthy families that were training to bond with a direwolf for their entire lives, they know a lot more about like this whole process, whereas Marin never ever thought she would do anything like this, literally ever. So we're learning along with her, which I really enjoy. But the one thing I was going to say about this world that I love is that she is from an area of the world where it's perpetually winter. Outside of her like area, her town, it's perpetually autumn. I want to move to a place where it's perpetually autumn. Good morning. We are currently on sprints with the Patreons. It is Sunday and I'm desperately trying to finish this book before this vlog ends because I want to give like final thoughts, and also I just really want to know what happens. So last night we read up to chapter 36, which was quite a bit. We've been reading like 200 pages of this a day. Yesterday we read 264 pages-ish, which is pretty good. This book is chronically readable. It's so good. Last night I did have one more chapter syndrome where I just didn't want to stop. I feel like, okay, nothing in this book has been a surprise. Like we, in this last section that I've read, had some bigger plot twists. Like I knew that they were going to be big plot twists, but it's very predictable. Like, none of this has surprised me, and yet I'm not mad at it. Also, I'm surprised because I don't love this romance. We get a lot of spicy scenes. It's not bad, it's just that I don't really care because, like, we came into this book with her having a boyfriend, and so I'm never usually the biggest fan of romances where I don't get to see that build up. I'm just like, okay, they're together, but I want to fall in love with him too. We got gypped of that experience of being able to fall in love with her boyfriend, with her. And I have a problem with that. I have been skipping the spicy scenes. Again, even though they're not bad and I'm not usually one to skip spice, I usually like it. This, I don't care. So the fact that a big portion of this book, like, the romance is fairly interwoven, although I would say there's more plot. It's like 70% plot, 30% romance, maybe even less than that, like 80-20. And the plot is predictable. Like, I don't know why I'm liking this so much, to be honest, but I am. There's been moments with Sable Sorensen's writing as you get, like, in the middle and towards the second half of the book where you really, like, found her stride in her writing, I think, towards the middle. Okay, you know how we've been talking about Tattoo Wolfman and, like, the romance in this book? This is one of the reasons why I'm still hanging on, because, like, I know that something is coming in the future and I cannot stinking wait for it. Also, I'm sorry if you can hear my dishwasher. They're, like, looking in the mirror. She just got, like, hurt at a training and they're both, like, looking in the mirror. He's standing behind her. He says, "I will never lie to you." Voice somber, the words dig down deep into my bones, carving themselves into my very marrow. Just as I can tell that he often fucking hates me, that it brings him pleasure to break me, this too I can tell is true. He's so good. Like, he's such a good character. I'm basically reading this just for Stark. I don't love that his name is Stark, but I really love him. We just got a one bed trope with a who did this to you, and then they're gonna share, it was like a one room trope, and then a who did this to you, and then she sees him trying to sleep on the floor but he's way too tall and he tried to, like, spread out his bedroll and he, like, doesn't say a word, he doesn't complain, and she, like, looks down at him and she goes, "Okay, don't be an idiot. I don't follow," comes his dry response. "You're not going to get any sleep like that. Come on, the bed is big enough to fit us both." Tattooed wolf boy, tattooed wolf boy. Besties, we have our final updates and I, like, cannot believe how much we read in this vlog. So actually I'm not sure I read any more since my last update on Assassin's Quest. I'm still, like, halfway through chapter 11. So yeah, I don't think we've read any more. But reading 250 pages of this, I'm pretty proud of that progress, considering I was fully anticipating this book taking, like, 2-ish weeks, and we read a really good chunk of it to start. But the main reason I didn't read more of this before ending today's vlog is because this took over my whole life. We just finished her, like, maybe 10 minutes ago. I'm giving this 4.5 stars. I was leaning more towards a 4-star, but my enjoyment of this was more than a 4-star, but it's not exactly a 5-star. I'm being very nitpicky about this. I knew what was gonna happen. Like, even towards the end, the plot twists at the end, I thoroughly enjoyed them. Did I see them coming from a mile away? Yes. Did I still enjoy getting there? 100%. This is like Kindle Unlimited fantasy romance at its peak. Like, I just loved reading this. It was so much fun. I loved it. Like, in terms of enjoyment level, I would say this is probably close to a 5-star, but because it wasn't anything groundbreaking, and because the romance is quite heavy-handed and the romance is not it for, like, the main guy from the very beginning, I can't like give this a 5-star even though I enjoyed it so much, but I'm so excited for the next book in the series. I'm absolutely devastated that it was supposed to come out July 30th, so like it's clearly already written, and then they pushed it back to March of 2026 because it got picked up traditionally. Saying that out loud, it really just hurts my soul because I want the next book in this series so badly. Now that I read this and annotated it on my Kindle, and what I ended up doing was highlighting a lot of the like major plot points because I don't think I would need a reread before the next book came out, but March of next year is quite far away. It's June right now, so if I do end up needing like a refresh, what I'll do is just read through my Kindle highlights. Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, leave a little wolf emoji in the comments down below if you'd like to let me know that you were here. If you have read Diarybound, please let me know like what you thought of it, because I feel like this is a book you're either going to really love it or really hate it, and I'm just so curious. I will catch you in the comments, and I will see you in my next one very soon. Toodles!